Hello, debaters, and welcome back to AI for the People. Today, we're diving deep into the hottest AI debates. AI is everywhere, from courtrooms to city streets, but not everyone is thrilled about it. We got a whole stack of research and news here, and let me tell you, things are getting interesting. Okay, so first up, there's this new study from the University of Cambridge, published in Nature, no less, and it found some pretty unsettling stuff about how AI is being used in the justice system.
Hmm.
What's really fascinating about this study is that it's not just looking at like one algorithm or one specific type of crime. It's looking broadly at how AI is being implemented across different regions. And the findings are, well, they're pretty consistent. There's this clear pattern of racial bias in how these systems are impacting sentencing.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge concern, obviously. And it's something that researchers have been warning about for a while now.
Right, exactly. And it's important to remember that these AI systems don't just like magically appear with these biases. They learn from the data they're fed, right? So if that data reflects existing societal biases, well, the AI is going to inherit them.
Exactly. It's like garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly. So we're not talking about some evil AI mastermind here. It's more about how the technology is reflecting the imperfections of the human world it's learning from.
Yeah, it's a reflection of us.
Yeah, it is. And that raises this huge question then. How do we make sure that these systems are actually promoting fairness and justice when they're built on data that's already so skewed?
Right. It's like trying to build a house on a foundation that's already cracked.
Exactly. A great analogy. And this problem, it's not just limited to the courtroom. Let's shift gears a bit over to Russia. They've just announced plans to expand their use of AI facial recognition in public spaces. And this is coming right on the heels of those recent protests there. So you can imagine the debate it's sparked.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely a controversial one.
It is. And it's tricky, too, because facial recognition tech itself, well, it's not inherently good or bad. It's a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for lots of different purposes.
Right. It all depends on who's wielding it and for what purpose.
Exactly. And, on the one hand, you have people who are saying that it could be a really powerful tool for public safety. Like it can deter crime, help identify suspects, even locate missing persons.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have critics who are warning that this kind of technology, it could be misused so easily and that it could lead to mass surveillance and really erode our privacy.
Yeah. It's a slippery slope.
It is. It really is. Think about it. In a world where your every move is being tracked and analyzed, what happens to individual freedom? Do people start to censor themselves if they know they're constantly being watched?
It's a chilling thought.
It is. It's a really chilling thought. And then there's also the issue of accuracy. What if the system misidentifies someone and that leads to a wrongful arrest or worse?
Right. And we've already seen cases where that's happened.
Exactly. These aren't hypothetical questions. These are real-world concerns that we need to be addressing. Now, from the watchful eyes of the state to the grand visions of tech giants, let's talk about AGI, artificial general intelligence. So imagine a machine that can learn and solve problems, just like a human can, across any field. That's AGI, the dream, or the nightmare, depending on who you ask.
Right.
And recently, two of the biggest names in AI, Elon Musk and Andrew Yang, they had this very public and very spirited debate about AGI.
Oh, yeah. I read about that.
Yeah. So Musk, who, as you know, is often pretty cautious about AI, he was really emphasizing the potential dangers of creating a superintelligence that we might not be able to control.
Yeah. He's been sounding the alarm on that for a while.
He has, and he's painted some pretty stark scenarios about what could happen if we don't proceed very carefully, like unintended consequences on a global scale, systems making decisions that we don't understand or can't predict.
It's the classic sci-fi trope.
It is, but it's not just science fiction anymore. It's something we need to be thinking about seriously. Then, on the other side of the ring, you have Andrew Yang, who's known for being a bit more optimistic about AI. And he sees AGI as a powerful tool for good, something that could revolutionize fields like healthcare, energy, education. His argument is that we should be focusing on developing AI responsibly, making sure it aligns with human values and goals.
Yeah. That's the key, right?
It is. But, of course, this all assumes that we can even figure out how to build AGI in the first place, which, let's be honest, is still a massive technical challenge.
Right. It's still very much in the realm of speculation at this point.
Exactly. So you've got one side saying, hold on, this could be really dangerous, and the other side saying, hey, this could change the world for the better. And you know what? They both have valid points.
They do.
It's not about picking a side. It's about understanding how complex this technology is. and having a thoughtful debate about its potential and its risks.
Abs-
Speaking of debates, things are heating up on the regulatory front, too. We've got some breaking news out of the U.S. Senate. They're actually considering a bill that's inspired by the EU's AI Act, which, if you're not familiar, is one of the most comprehensive attempts to regulate AI globally.
Interesting.
It is. And this has, of course, sparked a pretty big tug-of-war between tech companies and lawmakers.
Oh, I bet.
The companies are worried about overregulation, stifling innovation, and the lawmakers are worried about the potential dangers of just letting AI development run wild,
Makes sense.
right? So the U.S. bill seems to be aiming for a more flexible approach than the EU's, but it's definitely a sign that governments are starting to take the potential risks of AI very seriously.
Yeah, it's definitely on the radar now.
It is, for sure. So what does this all mean for the future of AI? Will it be a force for good, a source of chaos, or something in between?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is. It really is.
And I don't think anyone has the answer yet.
No, I don't think so either. But it's a question we need to keep asking and debating because the future of AI is too important to leave to chance.
Couldn't agree more.
So let's keep digging into these debates and exploring the many facets of AI. And who knows, maybe we'll even find some answers along the way.
Here's hoping.
Right, okay. So let's move on to our next topic, which is the impact of AI on the future of work. A lot of people are worried about robots taking their jobs, but is that really the whole story? We'll find out right after this. And the debates just keep on coming. So let's talk about something that hits pretty close to home for a lot of folks, the future of work. There's this new report out from the World Economic Forum, and they're suggesting that AI is going to have a pretty major impact on the job market. And it's not all doom and gloom. While it's true that some jobs will probably be automated, the report's also predicting that AI will create a bunch of new opportunities too.
Yeah, it's like any big technological shift.
Right.
Think about the Industrial Revolution.
Exactly.
It totally changed everything. Some people lost their jobs, but then all these new industries popped up. New jobs were created.
Right. And it seems like we might be on the verge of something similar with AI.
Totally.
So think of it this way. AI can take over a lot of those repetitive, data-heavy tasks.
Mm-hmm.
And that frees up humans to focus on things that require, more creativity, critical thinking, emotional intelligence.
Yeah, the things that AI, at least for now, can't really replicate.
Exactly. We're talking about jobs in fields like AI ethics, AI development, AI oversight. I mean, imagine a whole industry dedicated to making sure that AI is used ethically and responsibly.
That's a lot of jobs.
It is. It's a lot of jobs. And those jobs, they're going to require human judgment, empathy, a deep understanding of both the tech and the human context.
Absolutely.
So maybe instead of worrying about robots taking over, we should be thinking about how we can adapt and prepare for this new landscape.
Yeah, it's about upskilling, retraining, embracing lifelong learning. It's about recognizing that the skills that are most human are going to be the most valuable in the future.
I like that. The most human skills. Okay, so speaking of uniquely human skills, let's move from the workplace to the art studio, because AI is causing a bit of a stir there too.
Oh, yeah.
There's this landmark legal case that has artists and tech companies battling it out over copyright and the very definition of creativity.
Wow.
I know, it's a big one. So Adobe and a group of artists are suing this AI art tool. They're claiming it was trained on copyrighted artwork without permission. Essentially, they're saying this AI is profiting off the work of human artists without giving them credit or compensation.
That's interesting.
It is. And it raises all these questions about intellectual property in the age of AI. Like, if an AI creates something beautiful or innovative, who owns the rights?
Right.
Is it the company that created the AI, the person who used the tool, or the artists whose work was used to train the AI?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
It is. It's a really tough one. And it's not just about legal stuff either. It's about the value we place on human creativity, the role of art in our society. If AI could just pump out masterpieces, what happens to the artists who spent their whole lives honing their craft?
Right.
So some people argue that AI art tools are just another tool, like a way to enhance human creativity, explore new possibilities.
Yeah.
But others are worried that these tools could devalue human artistry, lead to a world where algorithms are the driving force behind creative expression.
I can see both sides.
Yeah, me too. It's a complex issue, no easy answers, but it's a debate that we need to be having, especially as AI gets more sophisticated and its impact on the creative industries grows.
For sure.
Okay, so let's shift gears one last time and talk about AI in healthcare, where the stakes are. Well, Incredibly high. Remember that AI system in Canada we talked about earlier, the one that was misdiagnosing patients?
Yeah.
That incident. It really highlighted the potential risks of relying on AI in healthcare, especially when it comes to life or death decisions. But here's the thing. AI also has the potential to totally revolutionize healthcare in a good way.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine a world where AI can help doctors diagnose diseases earlier, develop personalized treatment plans, even discover new cures.
That would be incredible.
It would, but the key, like with any powerful technology, is to use it responsibly, ethically. With the right safeguards in place,
Right.
we need to think about data privacy, algorithmic bias, the importance of human oversight.
All crucial factors.
Yeah, it's not about replacing doctors and nurses. It's about giving them the tools they need to provide better care, more efficient care, more personalized care. It's about using AI to enhance human expertise, not replace it.
I think that's a really important distinction.
It is. It's a crucial distinction. Okay, so let's talk about a topic that I think kind of brings up a lot of fear and fascination for people. AI in warfare. We talked a little bit about those autonomous weapons earlier, but that's really just like one piece of this whole puzzle.
Right.
What's really happening is that AI is changing like the whole nature of war. It's not just about robots on the battlefield. We're talking AI-powered surveillance, autonomous drones, cyber warfare, the ability to just analyze huge amounts of data instantly.
It's like we're entering this new kind of arms race.
It is.
But instead of nukes, countries are competing to make the best AI systems.
Yeah, and the stakes are, well, they're huge.
They are.
So you have people who are really for AI in warfare. They argue that it can make war more precise, reduce civilian casualties, make it safer for soldiers.
Right.
They point to things like targeted drone strikes and using autonomous systems to like defuse bombs. So you don't have to risk human lives.
Yeah.
But then, there's this huge ethical concern about taking human judgment out of the equation.
Right.
Like, what if an AI system makes a mistake? Who's responsible if an autonomous weapon attacks the wrong target?
Exactly.
And then there's that whole question of, could AI actually make wars more likely to happen if algorithms are deciding when and how to use force? Does that increase the risk of unintended consequences and just like spiraling violence?
Yeah, it's definitely a Pandora's box.
It is. It really is. And these are the kinds of questions that we as like a global community, we need to be talking about right now.
Absolutely.
We need to be having these open and honest conversations about AI in warfare. And we need to come up with some international rules and regulations to make sure this technology is used responsibly and ethically.
Yeah, and in a way that promotes peace.
Exactly, not conflict. So, we've covered a lot today. We talked about AI bias in the justice system, the impact of AI on the future of work in healthcare, AI in art, even AI in warfare.
It's a lot to process.
It is, but it's clear that AI is super powerful. It can improve our lives, but it also creates new challenges.
Yeah.
I think the key is to be critical, open-minded, and willing to have these tough conversations.
I agree.
So where do you stand on all of this? Do you think AI is ultimately a force for good or a potential threat? What are your hopes and fears about AI?
Yeah, tell us what you think.
Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's keep this conversation going because the future of AI, well, it's too important to leave it all up to the algorithms.
That's for sure.
Thanks for tuning in to AI for the People, and remember, the best debates are the ones that change minds. So keep those algorithms in check, and we'll debate again soon.